first round robin of the world's group stage is in the books, and we've got a whole 1 day off before the second round robin begins, and we start to find out who will be advancing to the world's quarterfinals. Will there be any North Americans among them? Or what about European teams for that matter? Well, in the few short hours available to me, I built a very scientific AI to predict that for us. According to the VSAITIM, the Western team with the lowest chance of reaching the quarterfinals is Cloud9. C9 have the second worst gold percent rating of the group stage. They're falling behind early and staying behind. Neutral objectives are a problem too. They've only taken 25% of the dragons in their games and 1 out of 6 Rift Heralds. Maybe they can beat Rogue in that rematch, but FPX are ramping up and Damwon look amazing. It would take a miracle for C9 to advance, which in this case translates to about a 1 in 40 chance. Speaking of Rogue, they have a slightly higher chance to advance since they're 1 win ahead already. If they beat C9 again and pull an upset over FPX, maybe they can sneak through if C9 also upsets FPX or if they get a tiebreaker. The problem is that their early game has been statistically even worse than C9's, and their team fighting has only been a little better. They've got a better shot than C9, but honestly, it's still not much of a chance. In Group C, Fnatic are sitting 0-3 right now, but they showed on Wednesday that even with Bean subbing in, they've got the tools to beat PSG Talent. Bwipo has been playing well, and Niski finally found his footing in this tournament. If he can play like that, Hanwha will be beatable too. Competing better for Barons could help a lot. Fnatic only have 14% Baron control in the tournament so far. You can never count Fnatic out with their willingness to fight anyone at any time, but this hill is probably too big to climb. Next up, I'm giving Team Liquid a slightly better likelihood of advancing than Fnatic at 15%. TL got out to a great start when they beat the Mad Lions, but they kind of rolled over in the next 2 games, especially in the lane phase where they're only averaging 2.7 turret plates per game. They're trying to play through Alphari, but Jensen is averaging below -600 GXD10, and Tactical is falling well behind too. Maybe TL can find some creative ways to survive the early game, but don't bet on it. It's tempting to up their chances since their group is so close overall, which could lead to tiebreakers, but I'm not setting my hopes very high. 100 Thieves are intriguing since they actually have a win to work with and should be able to grab another from DFM, but they still have to knock off either T1 or EDG at least once. A better draft could help them change the story against T1, but their loss on Wednesday was honestly a little demoralizing. 100T can point to FBI's laning stats as a positive, but their mid-jungle duo, which was a point of strength in the LCS, has been getting shut down hard. T1 are beatable, but forcing and winning a tiebreaker will be tough, so I don't think 100 Thieves have more than a 20% chance to move on. Finally, we have the Mad Lions. Their 1-2 record is disappointing, but don't count on them dropping their rematch with TL. To advance, they need to beat TL, and then either beat Gen G again, or beat LNG to earn a tiebreaker, depending on the result of Gen G versus LNG. Or they could just win out, which is definitely possible. Mad just need to survive the early game to allow their team fighting and map play to kick in, and build on their jungle control, which is 4th best in the tournament so far. They'll need a couple of things to go their way, but I believe in this squad, and I'm Timstimating their chances at over 40%. After the way the first 3 days have gone, it almost feels exciting to think that one of the teams might have close to a 50% chance of advancing. Well, let's not OD on Mopium. Who knows, maybe my very scientific AI was just being pessimistic because it hasn't gotten enough sleep lately. One can only hope.
Hey, are you enjoying the hopium and the copium flowing through your veins right now as you're watching these games and you're thinking, hey, maybe North America is going to be able to pull something off, at least after the TL match earlier. I don't want to give any spoilers, but maybe I just did. Anyway, recording this on day 1, by the way. Well, while you've got that flowing through your veins, why don't you just ride that positive energy over to alienware.com/Travis and use the code that's in the description below to save 10% on your order of an Alienware computer. Because what's better than getting inspired by North America possibly doing well at Worlds than going and getting yourself a computer so that you can possibly do well in your games.